This is Haley. Say it again.
Milliman.
Haley Milliman, and you are with Birdbrain Science, literacy and science, differentiated science articles. What the heck is Birdbrain Science, Haley?
So we are an adaptive science platform. And basically what that means is that we write science articles for your students on 7 different reading levels. So that if you have kids in your class who are reading above grade level or below grade level or on grade level, you can meet all of those students' needs with one article.
So so the article, tell me how it works. Show me, give me an example.
So for instance, say you are a teacher who's teaching something on ecology. So you're teaching on like symbiotic relationships in the food system, in an ecosystem. So you would basically go into our platform, you could search, ecosystem, you could search predator-prey, you could search symbiosis, or you could search by a TEKS standard. And then you would be pulled up with articles that are aligned to that standard or, include those vocabulary terms depending on what you searched for. Then you would basically check a box, and when your students log into the platform, they would all get that article, but every student would have a slightly different article based on what
their reading level are.
Exactly.
Okay. So can the teacher sets the reading level? Is that how that works?
No, so the students actually take a diagnostic test when they first log into the platform that puts them somewhere on that 7 reading level spectrum. Teachers do have the ability to override that if they see a big discrepancy.
So if I'm Jimmy and I'm reading at so if I was little Jimmy and I'm reading at level 2, for instance, how do I graduate up to level 3 or level 4 if I get better?
Great question. So our quizzes, our articles are all followed by multiple choice and free response quizzes. So those quizzes assess 2 things. The first is reading comprehension. So are they reading and understanding the article? And then we're doing some simple DOK level 1 understanding and definition of the vocabulary terms in the article. So can little Jimmy define what a predator is? Can he define what prey is? As he does well, he can move up. As he's struggling, he can move back down.
Okay, can you pull up an article and show us kind of what it looks like?
So here would be what...
Okay, so what are we looking at here?
So this would be what an article looks like from a teacher view. So first of all, students would not see this view up here, so they wouldn't be able to toggle between different grade levels. But this is basically what an article looks like. We like to say that our articles are very student-centered. So what that means is that they're written as informational text, but they're written in a way that like a teacher would explain to a student. So it's asking questions of the students, it's drawing, making metaphors or similes, that type of thing.
Okay.
Students basically read the article. Each of the articles has between 4 to 5 vocabulary terms in it. At the end of the article, they take a quiz, and that data is given to the teacher so they understand an example of what data would look like. So you would get an analysis of like, hey, 32 of my students, or 27 of my 32 students mastered the term space, but only 23 of the 32 mastered infrared. So now I know what to go back and reteach.
Okay, and so when you say the articles are delivered, are they always being updated, or is it just a standard set of articles?
Yeah, so we have about 260 or so articles right now, but we constantly write content based on teacher.
And it's based on, for what grade levels are they?
So we write 3rd through 12th. I would say the sweet spot is 5th through 8th.
So you're talking middle school, upper elementary, middle school.
Exactly.
Okay, and so it's a subscription-based model? Is that how it works?
It's a subscription-based model. So we do 3-month free trials, and we really encourage teachers, schools, and districts to do 3 months free with us before they decide to commit and purchase. After that is $4 per student per year.
Okay, cool. I remember back in the old days there was this thing called the Weekly Reader, which is probably still around. So this kind of reminds me of the Weekly Reader kind of thing. So. So that's interesting. So it covers all science subject areas. Do you have other areas besides science?
We have history.
History as well. So same grade levels.
Same grade levels. Same basic concept.
Okay. So I'd love to see the articles about Donald Trump. So.
Oh yeah. We're not quite that up to date. I have to say, none of us potentially predicted that.
There you go. Me either. Okay, so that's really interesting. And so if somebody's interested in Birdbrain Science, how do they get a hold of you?
So they would go to birdbrainscience.com.
Birdbrainscience.com. Okay.
You can sign up.
Which is right there, as a matter of fact. There we go. Okay.
You can sign up there for your free trial. Once you sign up for a free trial, you'll be contacted by me or another person with our company that will give you a little bit more information, give you a tour of how to get started with the article. For all of our pilots, we do PD beforehand if you'd like a really in-depth tour, or you can kind of self-serve.
How long does the PD take?
30 to 45 minutes, but we also have self-serve if you'd rather just explore on your own.
Okay. And so the PD comes with a subscription cost, or is it an extra
free.
cost?
It actually comes with the trial.
So is it like webinar based, or how?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep.
So, Haley,
Yes.
thanks for talking to us this morning.
No problem.
Appreciate it. Bye-bye.